Hi Miss, my name is Sun Kai. So I am the leader of Group 1. So my team member is Liu Ziying, Awaiting and Teo Vishan. So my presentation unit is Unit 2, which is language. So I will start now. First, this is the content. So by the end of the section, we will understand the differences, history, cultural, pronunciation, text, structural, popularization between the Chinese and English language. First of all, I will present the introduction. So what is language? So actually language is a system of communication or written communication. So as we know, human is a group of creatures. We always express our feeling to each other using the language to complete the social interaction. Okay, so the history of Chinese. So actually the Chinese language has a very long historical record. The earliest character appears in the Shang dynasty, more than 3,000 years. So until now have 6,000 years. The Chinese has changed difference many times. So the finally central government decided to use Putonghua as the national common language. The next one is English. English actually is a West Germanic language of the Indo-European family. It originates in America, Europe, and Oceania. It is the language of choice in most countries in the world and considered the universal language. English also reflects the influence of centuries in the international exchange, including the war and colonizations. The influence of English also spread around the world through America, popular culture, music, movie, advertisements, and television shows. So that's all my presentation. I will pass to my member, Teo Vishan. Thank you.
My name is Jovishan, come from Advertising Design 20C. So today I want to talking about the cultural difference Mandarin and English. Language is part of culture and plays an important role in the culture. So the German is rigorous, Spanish is enthusiastic, English is simple and positive, and Mandarin makes people want to explore it. The concrete difference about the lexicon, entity states, color words, and daily words between English and Chinese are present. Because of cultural difference, there are some examples in Mandarin and English that have no corresponding words. Just like to describe kraut in Mandarin, people say like cooking dumplings in the sesame sauce. In English, it was packed like sardines. Chinese people use "have you eaten yet" as a common phrase for greetings. Americans would think there is a kind of greeting seems to say, "I didn't eat either. Let's go. Let's have something to eat together." In short, this kind of greeting sometimes means inviting the other person to dinner. Next, pronunciation difference between Mandarin and English. The most obvious difference between English and Mandarin is that they sound very different. When foreigners hear Chinese speaking, it sounds weird, like a quarret. These are all because the pronunciation habits of English and Mandarin are very different. When most of us learn English, we often practice pronunciation to simple imitation and reading a lot. This method makes it difficult for us to appreciate the principle of difference in pronunciation between the two. Compared with Mandarin, the pronunciation position of English is more real word. So, there's time to pass to my partner to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks for my partner. I'm editing. Next, let's look at text difference. The text of the two languages are characteristics, similarities, and main difference. Chinese characters are a word for heritage that is can display the meaning information of the character to a certain extent. For example, 我们应该加深对各自的了解。For English, English is a phonetic script, which is phonetic literature composed of 26 letters. The distinction of meaning can only depend on difference in spelling, the number of syllables, and pronunciation. For example, let's get to know each other better. Let's move on to structure difference. Chinese center belong to linear or bamboo structure. Generally, it is expressed selected in chronology or logical order. It is possible that several words tutu are used together or several nominal phrases are arranged continuously. For English sentences belong to three tutu. English sentences have a sentence framework and predicates in the background. Tutu differences such as grammar. Grammar divides into adverbial and attributive position. The example of adverbial positions such as she is always worried about his son's safety when he always from home. In English, always is a verb adverbial. After the auxiliary word is and when clause is at the end of the sentence. In Chinese, adverbial usually come before predicate. The example of attributive position such as the beautiful girl with long hair. Phrases and sentences are used attributive after the modified word. In Chinese, attributive phrases the word being modified. That's all my presentation. I will pass to my partner, Liu Ziying.
Hi, I am Ziying. The topic I want to talk about is the popularization of English and Chinese in Malaysia. About 50 to 16% of people in Malaysia use English to communication. There are 10 to 20 people of Malaysia use Chinese to communicate. Kuala Lumpur and most major cities use English to communicate, while English rarely used in rural areas. The people who speak English in Malaysia are usually people from big cities, young people, businessmen from international companies and other professionals. Most of the route sites in major cities also in English. Besides, all university courses in Malaysia also taught in English. English is very important as an international business English. English is very important as an international language so that all primary and secondary school requested by government must have English classes. Many industries will provide information in English. Chinese is usually used when Chinese people communicate with their parents at home. There are schools in elementary and middle school that use Chinese as a medium of instruction. Not only that, some universities also give their students a Chinese class. The young people of Kuala Lumpur they can speak English but cannot write Chinese. It's because they usually communicate with English. That's all today we want to talk about. Thank you for listening.